The story of Mario the Wop. Parente. The Outlaws and the Hells Angels have clashed for decades. Battles that have taken lives and drawn clear lines in the outlaw biker world. One of the most compelling stories from this war is that of Mario the Wop Parente, a biker who rose through the ranks, helped shape the battlefield in Canada, and became the face of resistance against the Hells Angels' expansion into Ontario. From Hamilton to Satan's Choice, Mario Parente was born in Hamilton, Ontario, to a middle-class Italian immigrant family. Growing up in the tough south end of the city, he worked as a welder, construction worker, and nightclub bouncer, where he crossed paths with all types, mobsters, pushers, and bikers. In 1967, he joined Satan's Choice MC, the most dominant outlaw club in Ontario at the time. He said he joined for freedom, brotherhood, and the love of riding. As one of the few Italian members in a mostly British-descended club, he earned the nickname the Wop. He earned respect quickly, gaining a reputation as dangerous and loyal. After an incident where he assaulted a police officer who was beating a handcuffed man, his legend grew. By the early 1970s, Parente had risen to chapter president, though not everyone made the cut. He famously vetoed Walter Stadnick from joining the club because he was only 5 feet 4 inches, a decision that would come back to haunt him. The patch over to the Outlaws. In 1976, while Satan's Choice national president Bernie Guindon was in prison, Parente and others made a bold move. They patched over to the Outlaws MC. From then on, Parente represented the club proudly, wearing custom jewelry and flaunting a piece engraved with GLGC, Good Looking Guys Club, a nickname for the Outlaws. Tensions explode. Outlaws versus Hells Angels. In 1977, Montreal's Popeyes MC patched over to become Canada's first Hells Angels chapter. That immediately made them enemies of the Outlaws. On February 17, 1978, Yves Apache Trudeau of the Hells Angels shot 2 outlaws, killing 1. By October 1978, Walter Stadnick, the same man Parente rejected, traveled to Montreal and joined the Hells Angels. With dreams of expanding into Ontario, violence escalated. In 1979, 2 outlaws opened fire in a bar, killing 1 Angel and 2 Wild Ones MC members. Over time, the Outlaws killed 5 Wild Ones, leading to that club being wiped out. In 1983, 2 Montreal Hells Angels, Michael Jinx Janess and Jean-Marc Nadeau, were spotted by Parente and his crew riding a bus through northern Ontario, wearing their colors. Enraged, Parente tracked the bus to a Mr. Muggs coffee shop in Wawa, Ontario. The Outlaws opened fire on the bus. No one died, but 3 people were injured by shattered glass. Parente, Roy Kaja, and Ben Greco were arrested for attempted murder. While out on bail for the Wawa shooting, Parente was arrested again, this time for killing Jimmy Lewis in 1984. The Lewis brothers were known for extortion. Parente refused to let them into the strip club he worked at, leading to escalating tension. One night, 8 men showed up at the Outlaws clubhouse looking for him. Parente shot and killed Jimmy Lewis in self-defense. He was later convicted of manslaughter and served 30 months in prison. The Mafia connection and attempted hits. In 1992, Parente was investigated for laundering money with Vincenzo Jimmy Di Maria, but both proved their income sources were legal. That same year, Parente's girlfriend, Linda Di Maria, was shot in an assassination attempt. Police believed he was the real target. He was later targeted in a murder-for-hire plot by hitman Kenneth Murdoch, hired by the Musitano crime family. The attempt was never carried out. Outlaws hold the line in Ontario. In the late 90s, Walter Stadnick's Hells Angels were aggressively expanding. Stadnick offered Ontario biker clubs the chance to patch over with full rank, a rare and powerful offer. On December 29, 2000, dozens of clubs, including Satan's Choice, the Vagabonds, the Lobos, and others, joined the Hells Angels in a massive patchover ceremony. Even some outlaws defected. Parente, still loyal to the Outlaws, called James Frank Wheeler, U.S. Outlaws president, who in turn reached out to Sonny Barger. Barger told Stadnick to stop recruiting outlaws in exchange for peace in Ontario. In 2002, the Ontario Provincial Police launched Project Retire, a massive crackdown on the Outlaws. 58 members were arrested. Parente was charged with multiple offenses. In 2004, those charges were dismissed due to lack of evidence, but the Crown pursued a rare preferred indictment, trying to reinstate them. Parente refused to accept plea deals that required him to admit the Outlaws were a criminal organization. Eventually, all charges were dropped again in 2009. Parente resigned as national president that year, after a long, expensive legal fight that forced him and his girlfriend to sell nearly everything they owned. Parente always maintained the Outlaws were a motorcycle club, not a criminal organization. Despite arrests, shootings, and assassination attempts, he stuck to the outlaw code: never rat, never fold. He stepped down as president and planned to work as a construction contractor. While Walter Stadnick built an empire for the Hells Angels across Canada, Mario the Wop Parente was the main reason they couldn't fully conquer Ontario for decades.